everyone, welcome to the next picture in the series from Colouring Heaven's Halloween special. We're doing the Agotapop Halloween Tinies. We're on page 3. We have got this spell book type thing going on. I'm not really sure. We've got moths and all sorts. Let's come in a bit closer, you can't even see. Let's have a look at our page. So we have bottles, we have leaves, we have our spell book, of course, all sorts of things. I'm using Polychromos pencils for this one. Oh, we've got a bottle of magic, a potion. I'm not really sure how to colour this, so I'm going to start with the leaves. There's glitter everywhere. Yeah, I'm going to start with the leaves and work from there, really. Just because I don't know what to do yet. So let's grab some hooker's green and start these leaves here. I'm just going to make the bases a little bit darker. And then gently reduce the colour like that. Do the same for all of them. I'm not sure whether to do those other leaves the same, or I might just use some different greens for these. I think they should be the same as each other. They look the same as each other, but maybe, just trying to find the colour that I'm looking for. Yeah, emerald green. But yeah, I do them differently to these. They do look like they could be the same. But our last couple of pictures have had quite a limited colour palette, I think, so I feel we'll use a few different colours on this one. So I'm just using the emerald to go over what I've done and burnish it into the page. There we go. So these two, I think I will do, yeah. Let's start with this one, the deep cobalt green. I'm going for the bluey greens. I feel they're more magical. Why? Who knows? So I'm still doing the darker bit at the base. It's just how I like to do it. Now, what I've noticed, this bottle, although we can see the liquid through it, we can't see the leaves through it. So I think that might make me want to do it as a coloured bottle rather than just a plain one. I find coloured glass a bit easier to colour anyway, so I'm happy with that. We've also got a leaf here on the flower, and again it looks the same. I'm going to do it with this one. Look at it in my washing machine. I don't know if you can. Now for our tips, I think I'll just use this. This is the phthalo green, and the same as these. I shouldn't be colouring that one with that, but there's a mist bit that I spotted. Should be using the emerald. Whoopsie, never mind. I just had a quick coffee. He was trying to help my boys. I thought it would be really useful for them to have a charger for their laptops, both at the desk they work at in the sitting room and in their bedrooms when they're out there. But it seems very difficult to buy a replacement or additional sort of thing. You know, you get the sort of plug with the big square power block and stuff. The company that makes the laptops don't sell them. And I was told this by husband, and I was like, that just sounds nonsense. Surely they do. I've just spotted another set of leaves here. I'm going to do them the same as these, just so that they're not all the same apart from those, or else it's going to be a little bit odd. So let's go back to our hooker's green. So I've been searching to try and find replacements. You can buy them, but the company who make them don't sell them in the accessories on their website. So I'm sort of suspicious as to what these replacement ones are, whether they work. I'm always like, I don't like unofficial ones, although for this camera that I'm using now, the batteries are made by Sony. It's a Sony camera, And you can get replacement Sony batteries, but you can also get replacement Duracell branded batteries. Now Duracell are such a good well-known name of batteries that I feel that using their batteries instead of Sony's would be fine. And they were significantly cheaper. I was going to do that when I bought a new battery, but in fact I'm going to do this bottle because it's so pretty. I think I'm going to do the bottle in pink and then the liquid after. So we're going to do, let me have a look at the pinks. I think I'm going to use a lightish pink for the glass. So the Pink Madder Lake, I'm just going to give it a sharpen, it's a bit blunt. And then put some darker colour for the liquid. It's got to be pink because it says love, don't you think? Maybe? So around the edge here, darker and then lighter towards the middle, and it gives it that sort of if we leave a bit of white, it makes it look more shiny, and then we can make it think, we can think it's a glass, shiny glass. And I'm going to go over that whole bit and ignore this at the moment, with the same sort of thing, dark on the edge and lighter towards the middle. Yes, so I thought, well, as it's Duracell, I trust it. And the charger, they do a battery charger as well, also Duracell do one. I don't know which, I think the one I got was Duracell. I don't know, I can't see it from here. It's on my windowsill. Anyway, so so I thought, well, you know, if another company did a replacement, that'll work, but they don't. People sell the branded one for about £80, but who, I don't know, never heard of them, you know. And I'm like, do I try, you know, with their electronics? I'm all sort of, maybe I'm overcautious, but I sort of think about fire risk, things like that. And my washing machine's just finished. I can't imagine anyone's gonna go through and do it. I'm just gonna stop and call them. I got a no and a sure, so I'll find out. So this liquid in here needs to be a little bit darker, and we need to think about working with the colour that we've used already. And I'm thinking if I go for quite a dark one, this is the red violet, that it will show up. So I'm going to, but I'm not going to plaster it down. I'm just going to gently layer it on top. And also, you know, keeping with this bit being lighter and this bit being darker, so put a few more layers near the edge, that sort of thing, like that. And then I'm going to do these bubbles in the same colour. I might go over those in a glitter pen or something after, but I might do that one like those. Don't know yet, but we've sort of got the basics there. Our little lid, this pretty little heart-shaped lid, I'm going to do it a little bit darker than the glass, but in the same type of pink. And I'm going to use the fuchsia for that. There we go. And then just a bit lighter towards the centre. So we've got, get a paler bit in the middle. Like that. Oh, cute. Now, this little bit here says love, our label. I'm going to use the fuchsia again, both for the string. So dark here and a bit lighter in the middle. Just block it in there. And then really light here. So I'm holding the pencil really low down on its side. I'm going to put down the gentlest, littlest bit. Like that. Sounds like he put the washing in the dryer when I asked him to put it on the spin cycle. Never mind. At least he did it for me. Because we tend to spin it first to get some more of the water out before we put it in the dryer. Been thinking about buying a new dryer. Now I'm going to go over here and do this flower and this magic potion. Now I'm thinking, again, you know how I said I thought it was a coloured bottle, so same as here, but let's do this one in purple. Let's use our lightest violet for for the bottle itself. Now this has got more of a cork rather than, so I'm going to leave, it could be a glass one, couldn't it? I'll give it some thought as I colour this. So darker here and lighter towards the middle of this rim. Same here, we've got a little light bit in the middle. Same with the neck. I'm just going to work down gently. And then here, lighter towards this sort of bit here, I think. Sort of make this corner the lightest bit, and then again all the way down. Oh, excuse me, I've got hiccups. Across to there. Lightly there. Your husband cleaned out all the tumble dryer for me yesterday. Well, I say for me, that's not just me that uses, well, generally is, but you know, it's their stuff too. He got the vacuum cleaner and vacuumed out all the nooks and crannies, basically, saying, oh, it'll work much more efficiently now. It made no difference whatsoever. I'm going to grab the purple violet, and I'm going to use this for the liquid. So again, trying to stick with the, oh, it needs a sharpen. Stick with the darker edge, lighter centre sort of thing going on. Yeah, so he vacuumed it all out. He took out the filter, which, you know, we do clean off, but he gave it a really good scrub and clean. He opened up all the inside and vacuumed out every bit because it was dry. It's quite hard. You can't do that when it's just been used because it's all wet inside, but it was dry because it hadn't been used for a week. So he did all this, and it didn't seem to make it the slightest bit of difference to how long it took to dry the towels. I can do the cork with this one like I did with the other bottles, so we've got a little bit of a darker colour top there. Now the flower, I think I'm going to go purpley pink. What colour's that? Yeah, let's use the light red violet. And just like the leaves, a bit darker in the bottom and lighter to the top. So yeah, unfortunately I'm not convinced that it worked. It still took 2 hours to dry the towels. Now I feel that's too long for a condensing tumble dryer. I was thinking of replacing it with a heat pump one. Now the heat pump tumble dryers are apparently much cheaper to run, much more efficient, but they use lower temperature, so they take longer. I don't mind it taking longer if it's cheaper. This is the magenta. I don't want the magenta, I want the red violet. We used that already, didn't we? Here we are. Red violet. So I'm going to use that for this. Down here on this edge, you try and just show where the shadow is a bit there, and here particularly, like that, and a little bit here. It's not very pretty, is it? I'm going to use the light magenta to go over in it now, and I'm hoping it will look a bit prettier. Oh, the colour isn't very bright. There, that's a bit better. So I've been looking at these dryers, but yeah, they're expensive, but isn't everything. I just realised I haven't filled in that. What we did with this bottle was used a really light covering of our cork colour, so I'm going to do the same thing again, really lightly. There we go. Now I've got a couple of berries up here. I'm going to go do those with the red violet, really dark. Try to make them lighter nearer the middle. I don't think I managed that at all, but never mind. Right, our little magical moths, maybe? I'm going to do their bodies in a grey, so let's start there with a cold grey 4, and their heads ahead and try to make it a bit darker on the edge than the middle if I can. There we go. Now I think I'm going to do them blue. I think they're creating this magic, and I think this sort of, yeah, this sort of ultramarine type blues will probably work the best. So here we have the ultramarine. I'm going to make the base of the wings here a bit darker, and then lighten it to the tip like that. And all of them in a similar fashion. And I think what I'll do is I use a slightly different shade of blue because I've only used one colour and I'm quite happy with how that looks. I'm actually going to use the light ultramarine for this one, so it's similar but lighter. I think that might give it a little bit more interest. You can do them all the same colour if you prefer. It's completely up to you. You notice I am completely procrastinating doing the spell book itself, but I was thinking of ideas for my son because he's talking about, you know, wanting to go to his room, but it's not set up. You need to have to sort of sit on the edge of the bed, which is really bad for your back, sky blue. He does have a chair in there, but he tends to just, it's got arms on, which I don't think are very good when you've got a laptop. So I was trying to think of a solution to how we might be able to fit him a little desk in his room. I think the only way would be to move his bed across under the window against the radiator, and then take his bookcase out and put it, you know, in that magic place of places where you've got lots of room for spare furniture. Nowhere. Right, spell book. I'm very unsure. Right, I'm going to try something. I've got a little idea. So I'm going to start with the light purple pink, and I'm going to colour over the top of all these dots and stars, not the bookmark, because I'm going to use gel pen on these, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to start on this corner and just sort of do a stripe of this colour like this, and then just sort of fade it out. And then I'm going to do another stripe about here, fading it this way and this way, like that. And then I'm going to get we used that one? Yeah. Oop, the manganese violet. And start in this corner and fade it into the pink. Like that. And then we'll have a harder layer of manganese going from here, that, and then sort of fade it in all directions, blending it into the pink as best we can with the moths getting in our way. I want to go over the star. I'm just going to darken it here where this line is so that it works like that. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of darker pink. This is still the light purple pink colour. A little bit more here because it's a bit faint. There we go. So I have a sort of pinky purple book. I'd like that to be a little faded back and smushed together, so I'm going to use my white, the Prisma white. You can use if you don't have Prismas, the Polychromos white isn't the best for this. A blending pencil would work. A Derwent Light Fast white, a Derwent Chinese white from their drawing set, a Caran d'Ache Light Fast, no, Luminance white, what else have I found I haven't done the page edges yet, and it gives it a more pastel-y colour tone as well, which I like. What is that other white that's similar to this? I think Castle Arts Gold white is quite good as well. And yeah, Derwent. Yes, Derwent. There we go. So there is the book. These sides of the pages. This isn't standing out very well now. I'm not very happy with that. I'm going to go over that with the red violet and just make it quite dark. And when I come in with my white pen, I'm going to write over that word love in white. And I think I'll prefer that. So the page edges, I think I'm just going to go, whoops, manganese violet for those. A little bit darker. Try not to get right up to the edge of the book, because that's going to be in a different colour. There we go. I've seen a reel or something like that, like purple pink for the edge of the book and the bookmark. I need to sharpen it. And someone paints on the very edges of books, so when the book's closed they paint on this bit. Oh, beautiful. So pretty. I'm going to just put a light bit of that in there. And I'm going to do a medium layer of this here. So somewhere in between that very dark edge and this light here. There we go. Right, we need to work some magic with some pencil, with some glitter and some white to get it all looking a little bit better. So let's start with our white. Now let's put a little bit of shine on our berries and then on our glass jar. I think it's always important to go right across any lines that are inside the jar, and that helps give the illusion that we're looking through something. I'm going to put some dots on the flower just to lift it a little bit. Now these are magical and they're not looking magical at the moment, so I'm just going to put some white dots on, and I just think that makes them look a little bit more magical. It's amazing what a few white dots can do. I'm just sort of working through really. Where can I put white dots? And we're going to do different colour for this magic dots here, but we can put a little bit of shine there. We can put some on the glass here. I'm doing more than is marked on there. And as I say, I'm going to fill in this word love like that in white. Hopefully that's visible. Oh, it's a very loud train. Next I am going to use the silver glitter pen for the stars, as we have in all of the pictures have got stars in. The number 744 silver glitter. And that one. Now I've got to choose which colour to do for the rest. I think I'm going to do the purple. It's quite a dark one. I think it will stand out better. So that's my reason. This is number 724. You could mix it up a bit and do a few different colours, but I haven't done that on any other picture, so I feel like I want to keep it the same. And it's quite vibrant. I wanted it to make sure it would stand out over the colouring that I've done on the book, but it also stands out very nicely on the white paper as well. So I'm quite happy with the choice. Oop, I'm not happy with that line, but never mind. It's a bit of naughty magic. It misbehaved a little bit. You know how that happens. There we go. It's a cute little, imagine having a book with pages like this. I'm sure there are books which have coloured pages. Right, let's have a little look. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's put it down a tad. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy. So there is our very pink and purple and blue magical spell book. I don't know what I'm going to call this one, because we've already had a spell book. I've got to call it something a little bit different. I might call it moths, but I don't know. I'll have a think. Or casting, spell casting, I'm not sure. Excuse me. But that is that one done for today. We've got 3 left. Quite sad. Not many left. But we'll have fun. So thank you for watching today. Have a magical day and happy colouring.